has to have an abortion. I won't say by who, but to your point, yeah, like you just have to know that it's something that you're capable of handling.
I'm getting the short end of the stick. This is not about money, clout. This is not a publicity stunt. My legacy is my baby. You're gonna tell the people that I wasn't there when I was, but we don't have to be together. But we definitely should acknowledge the work that was put in. And that is on my back. The three of us did that. The three of us had that schedule.
Push it real good. This is Bell. Bell makes me wanna shoot.
Pepa, the baddest hip-hop trio in the game, dropping bangers and breaking records left and right. But behind all the glitz, glam, and fire tracks, there was some serious drama brewing.
We don't have to be together. We have made the decision mutually. They fired me, but it's cool. I'm good with that. Fire me.
These queens of hip-hop couldn't agree on anything. One of them was all about finding the Lord, swapping out rap bars for hymns. I mean, what?
I submitted my life to Christ for a number of reasons. The main one being I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And God just brought me to my knees, and he just showed me where I was just compromising.
Meanwhile, the others were like, nah, we're keeping it real. Still out here with the wild and raunchy vibes. Not about to change up for nobody.
There was no altercation, just the drama.
And disagreeing on different issues and things.
Yes,
exactly.
We're very opposite. We have very different views.
And to top it off, one of them was straight up feeling like the hired help, stuck in the middle of all that chaos. Messy.
I definitely had depressions about it, bouts. I've had self-esteem issues. I had confidence issues. There was communication issues. It was a lot. Let me tell you what it does to you. It makes you feel less than a person. It makes you feel inferior. You have an inferior complex. You have confidence issues. You have low self-esteem. Never believing that I was good enough. Never, like, always having to overprove, and never getting that acknowledgement. So yeah, those are the effects of that behavior. There's no encouragement. When there's no encouragement, how do you expect the seed to grow?
IT was clashing vibes, diva tantrums, a messy breakup, and a whole lot of personal demons. The tension was so thick, you could slice it with a butter knife. Get your mugs ready, because we're about to spill some real tea on why Salt-N-Pepa broke up. So, let me set the scene. Three girls from the heart of the Big Apple decided to flip the whole music game upside down in 1985. You got Cheryl James, the one and only Salt. Then there's Andra Denton, aka Peppa Dot. And don't forget Roper, aka DJ Spinderella, holding it down on the turntables. Trio, huh? Nah, these ladies were never scared to push the limits. I mean, their first album, Hot, Cool, and Vicious, bold is an understatement. And don't even get me started on Push It.
We recorded it in the bathroom.
Right.
That's what we remember. Yeah. Of this guy named Fresh Gordon's home.
That track was supposed to be a B-side, but whoops, somebody messed up. And guess what?
Then a DJ turned Tramp over and started playing it, and then all of a sudden it's the biggest Salt-N-Pepa song ever. But the funniest part of that story is that we didn't like the song.
It ended up being everywhere. I mean, who didn't know the lyrics? It was like a whole movement. These girls were living the dream, stacking them coins and partying like they were gonna run out of time. They were like the Beyonce of the 80s, except with way more attitude. After that crazy successful first album, Salt-N-Pepa were like, hold my crown. Their next drop, Assault with a Deadly Peppa, Pure Fire, Baby. Legit gold certified fire. These girls were on a serious roll. Then they dropped Black's Magic and straight up blew our minds with bangers like Expressions. And let's not forget X. Oh, and don't sleep on Shoot. They were basically the queens of the music world, taking over, and just when you thought they couldn't top themselves, they snagged that Grammy. And that's none of your business. Out here slaying the game, dropping hit after hit, owning the stage, and keeping the heat turned all the way up. So, what in the world happened to break up this dynamic trio? Did the fame mess with their heads? Or was there some real shady business going down behind the scenes? Well, honey, your guess is as good as mine. It all kind of started with the fact that people kept referring to them as a trio. But the name Salt-N-Pepa, that's a duo, baby. Salt and Pep didn't just pop up overnight. Cheryl and Sandra met back in college.
Went to school together. We were in college. I'm leaving out the community. So we went to college together. And we also worked at Sears as telephone solicitors together. I got her a job. They were hiring. She was like, I want to work at Sears. I said, they'll hire anybody.
So they were just hanging out, vibing, and somehow the magic clicked. They started out as Supernature, which honestly sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi flick, right?
I heard you had a different name at first.
Yeah.
Supernature. Oh my God.
It's crazy.
It was so formal. Who came up with Supernature?
Herbie. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of named us because we in a rap said we go together like Salt-N-Pepa, and so it stuck, and it was like that.
It's like play them that song for them Salt-N-Pepa girls. That's what they used to say on the radio all the time.
Thank God they ditched that name and switched it up to something catchy that really fit their vibe. Salt for Cheryl's lighter skin, and Peppa for Sandra's gorgeous, deeper complexion.
And I mean, it was written in the stars for us to be together. I mean, we're like polar opposites, but we work so well together from our voices, from the fact that we started out as friends, from working with Herbie. Like, it was kind of ordained.
Then came Deidre Roper, aka DJ Spinderella. She was just a regular 16-year-old working at Sears, minding her own business when, boom, out of nowhere, a classmate hits her with the hookup of a lifetime.
How I met them, I was in high school, and Herbie, which was our producer at the time, manager at the time, was looking for a female for his group, Salt-N-Pepa, and I auditioned and I got it, and I, got on the road with them, and it's just like so many crazy experiences in the beginning with them because I'm straight out of the projects, I'm straight out of high school math class, and then all of a sudden I'm on the road with them.
Deidre crushed the audition. And next thing you know, she's hitting the stage with Salt-N-Pepa at the Westchester Music Festival. Talk about a Cinderella moment, but hold up. Deidre wasn't the first DJ Spinderella. Nah, there was another DJ before her who was rocking the decks with Salt-N-Pepa.
There was a previous Spinderella. She wasn't the original Spinderella. Go to the cover of the Salt-N-Pepa Hot, Cool, and Vicious. That's a different Spinderella. That's a different girl.
But let's just say she wasn't exactly living up to the hype. Girl was slacking, missing shows, and basically not pulling her weight. I mean, if you're gonna be a DJ, at least show up to work, right? Thank God Deidre came through and saved the day.
I think music changed my life. It helped me. It can control your mood. The right music, it could take you from, happy to sad. It could take you from sad to happy. It could make you angry. It could rile you up. It could sedate you.
And that's when we got the iconic DJ Spinderella we all know and love.
When people say, oh, or I tell them who my mom is and then seeing their reaction and then being like, well, why are they freaking out? Like, I didn't understand. It really didn't dawn on me until I was a lot older, I guess. Her influence.
Then in 2002, Salt-N-Pepa, well, technically, Salt-Pepa and Spinderella called it quits. Can you even imagine the shockwaves that hit the industry? Word on the street is Salt was dealing with some serious stuff. Body image issues, battling depression, bulimia, and oh yeah, a messy divorce.
It was really dark, so I'm in therapy, and I've never really consistently done therapy before, so I've been doing that and just figuring out why I was in that position in the first place, right? Like your self-esteem.
I feel like this is going to inspire all the
music. Yeah, taking responsibility, accountability, all that good stuff, and just changing my environment, and making my 50s my best.
Salt started diving deep into her faith to help pull herself through, like full-on church girl vibes, y'all.
And God just brought me to my knees, and he just showed me where I was just compromising and, just walking and straddling that fence. And so he said to me, I need all of you. And that was just all I needed to hear, because I really didn't know what I was doing wrong, why I was still feeling so conflicted. And so I submitted my life to him. But since I've done that, my life has changed in a lot of ways. I pulled back from the group, I pulled back from the industry, and I allowed the word to marinate in me, because God will take you out, he'll clean you up, and he'll put you right back in.
Can you even imagine that? The same Salt who was out here dropping fire bars. But then, Salt started acting all distant, always late to the studio, complaining about the music. Like, girl, this ain't even my vibe anymore. Meanwhile, Peppa was out here trying to keep the sexy, bold image alive. It was like worlds colliding. Peppa was fighting her own battles too. Her marriage to rapper Tretch was making headlines, with rumors of alleged abuse swirling all around.
She wanted Tina Turner Ike story. Homie, any of the kids, nobody, whenever, have anything, or boom, or any police, or any records. Come on, you want to have a story, tell your story, but shut it down because it's a new thing called defamation of character.
Right.
And if I come with that, yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
Like, you had your run, all right now, put it on pause because we could handle some things.
Right.
I got divorced and then you didn't even have a prenup or even go for you in a bigger tax bracket and I'm coming for you type of. And I could go tell stories. You want me go tell stories?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You can't call me no cheater. We had bitches. Nobody gonna go through what you said you went through and then when I'm just in the building at a show or doing a show with you and you pull me on stage on what a man, what a man, what a man,
Right.
what a mighty good man. What you say?
Right.
Tina ain't pulling Ike on playing What a Man. Tina ain't even gonna be in the same building as Ike.
Whatever the case, it was like their personal lives were just straight up imploding and the group, collateral damage.
No, well, it's true. I mean, it was just that throughout times, there's Salt-N-Pepa that is the group. That's how we started, you know. Fortunately, there was another Spinderella. Spin left the group one time. And came back as Salt left the one. I was the original member.
They couldn't hold it together. But then, after 5 long years and all that drama, Salt-N-Pepa decided to make a comeback for the VH1 Hip Hop Honors in 2005. Like, who asked for this plot twist? And then, wait for it, the very next year, they're back on stage together performing What a Man at the Vogue. It was like a reunion nobody saw coming. 6 years later, they decide to give it another shot. Talk about a comeback. They're out here touring, performing together, and it looked like the trio was back in full force. Fast forward to May 2019, and they kick off this huge tour, the Mixtape Tour, in Cincinnati. Everything seems cool, right? But then, hold up. Spinderella drops a bomb on Instagram saying Salt-N-Pepa fired her via email. Can you believe the nerve? Spinderella is out here spilling all the tea about her time with Salt-N-Pepa. And honey, it is hot.
They have their name as the bosses. They have said, I am the boss. I make the deals. I sign the checks. If you saw the show, they made it clear who is the boss. So who makes decisions? It's the two of them. And honestly, you guys, all you gotta do is just look.
Let's talk about that 2007 reality TV show, though. One that could have given Spinderella the big ol' hint about what was coming. See, Homegirl was conveniently missing from the show, only making guest appearances. Salt-N-Pepa got their chance to share their side of the story.
I wanted her to be a part of it, but the network wanted it to be focused on Salt-N-Pepa at first, and so we kept feeding her in and hoping eventually they'll want it to be more based around the three of them.
You know, it's a lot of times they ask, you know, for Salt-N-Pepa to talk or be here, and they don't have Spinderella. It's out of our hands, and she always blames us, you know, think that's, you know, to fight. We do fight, but sometimes they like, no, we just want, you know, the Salt-N-Pepa. And it's hard, and that was a lot of that constant, and she wants to say, no, don't do this, you know, she's right. I'm like, I'm doing this.
And then, in 2021, a biopic about the group dropped.
Want you to punch it back, doing by day, then at night, working up.
Guess who's missing again? Yep, you guessed it, DJ Spinderella. Her image was everywhere, but when it came time to give her a seat at the table for the movie, crickets. That's cold, girl. Real cold. And maybe she didn't catch the hint with the reality show, but this time, oh, she wasn't blindsided. After all the drama with Spinderella getting the boot, she decided to take it to the next level and sue Salt-N-Pepa for breach of contract.
I wasn't involved in it at any point. In the discussions about it, I wasn't involved in the meetings about it. I wasn't involved in the writing of it. I think they feel that they inherited me. And so his idea and their idea somehow was different. But my idea was the seed was planted as being in Salt-N-Pepa, you know, fulfilling that is what I did. And their intentions may have been different than
lawsuits, honey. Spinderella didn't just claim she was treated like a side chick in the group. Oh no. She also said they didn't pay her right. Can you believe that? They promised her a piece of the pie, but the homegirl never got her slice. And get this, she's saying they left her out of tours and other money-making gigs. It's like they were out here living their best lives while trying to keep her broke. It got so messy, they had to settle it all behind closed doors. Talk about a messy breakup. Salt-N-Pepa came back swinging with their response to Spinderella's lawsuit. And let me tell you, it's a whole lot of shade. They said she was running a smear campaign, claiming they were always there for her. They even said she quit the group on her own, and now she's acting all high and mighty. And get this, they're saying she was just an afterthought, like some last-minute addition to the group. It's giving major diss, honey.
First of all, Salt-N-Pepa were friends. We had a male DJ, right, first. We had the first Spinderella, and then we did the whole Hot, Cool, and Vicious album, and Herbie brought in this Spinderella. At that point, we were already established as Salt-N-Pepa. We were already established as a company together. We are partners, always have been partners. Spinderella was an addition to what we had already created. There's always been a lot of attempts to compromise, to satisfy on everybody's part, and it just never got to a place where it was what, she thought it should be.
They're making it clear that Spinderella was just the DJ, not a real member of the crew. But Spinderella? Oh, she wasn't done yet. She shares a little more about what she actually demanded before the lawsuit. Hold up, this is about to get even juicier.
I even just wanted my name to be, you know what I'm saying? People kept seeing 3 people and calling us Salt-N-Pepa, and they would be like, who's that? It wasn't fair to the new fans that they didn't know who this person was. So I made it clear that I wanted to define that with them, and I wanted their support on that. And it was like, how do we do that? Why are we going to change our name? We're Salt-N-Pepa. I didn't ask you to change your name. I'm just saying, like, how do you fix that? How can we justify that? Let's talk about it.
So Salt-N-Pepa get their Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Major, right? But guess who's missing from the spotlight? Spinderella. I mean, the name might be Salt-N-Pepa, but let's be real. Spinderella was the secret sauce. Fans can't even picture the group without her. It's like trying to have pizza without cheese. Just wrong. According to Peppa, Spinderella could have made sure all the business was in order and kept an eye on things.
And I just want to add, out of Salt-N-Pepa money, $1.6 million. When we got our deal, we not contractually obligated at all. Salt-N-Pepa took our money and gave her $1.6 million and didn't have to. And that's the God's honest. And that's the sense. Like, we didn't have to do those kind of things. And I want that to be known because no one talks about that.
Yeah.
They talk about all this stuff, but what did we do all this time?
If you're going to talk about the bad, you got to talk about the good, too.
Then November 2022, Salt-N-Pepa finally get their Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Another huge moment, right? But the real tea? Somebody remembered to send Spinderella an invite. It's like a dramatic soap opera finale, honey. But hey, at least they're all in the same room, trying to play nice.
Reached out to Spinderella. I feel like it's very unfortunate. We've come to a crossroads where we have decided to agree to disagree. I definitely am open, and Pep is open. We've talked about it. Our hearts are open, have always been open to Spinderella. As far as the public is concerned, I'm really happy about the people who know that they don't know everything. There's 6 sides to every story, and we just hope that that we can come to some sort of resolution in the future. You never know, God, you never know what God is doing.
The Salt-N-Pepa saga, a wild ride full of spiritual journeys, legal battles, and undeniable drama. Cheryl Salt James is 58 now, with a net worth of $14 million, and Sandra Peppa Denton is 57, with a net worth of $15 million. This legendary duo's impact on music? Unquestionable. Whether you're Team Salt-N-Pepa or not, one thing's for sure. This story is far from over. Here's hoping they find some peace and hit us with that legendary reunion.